Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Oh, that was really pitiful. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm delighted to see your bright and shiny faces here. Now, the most important question, does everybody have some coffee or a soda and some donuts?
Yes.
I have to tell you, the look on the little Korean lady's face close to my house that has the donut shop. I walked in yesterday and said, I'd like to order 22 dozen donuts. Yes, sir. She was very happy about that, and we're happy to have you here. It seems like only yesterday we were here for the award show. And now here we are, kicking off the curtain, raising the curtain on our 6th annual season for the DSM High School Musical Theater Awards. By the way, did anybody see my reminder post yesterday on the Facebook page? Yeah. And the trivia question I gave you was, what stage is this? Anybody recognize it? Radio City. It's Radio City. I know the meeting was not there this morning. So we're delighted to have you here, and I'd like to start things off, introduce you to the chairman of the board elect for our Dallas Summer Musicals Board of Directors and Executive Committee, Mr. Randy Wright.
Thank you, Tracy. It's my pleasure to welcome you this morning on behalf of DSM, Dallas Summer Musicals. I'm Randy Wright, I'm chair-elect. Just a little commercial, if I could, about DSM. We're a 77-year-old organization, and for 77 years, our mission has been to bring the best of Broadway to Dallas. We produce or present all our shows here at the Fair Park Music Hall. So if you've ever been to a musical in this building, that is our organization that presents that. The High School Musical Theater Awards is a program of DSM, and we've been investing in this program now 6 years. Is that right, Tracy? 6 years?
Yes.
Yeah. So for 6 years, we've been investing in this program. I can tell you from the board and executive committee standpoint, our mission is to bring you the best Broadway shows here, but that we consider this our most important mission. And as a father of a 21-year-old who did high school musical theater, I can tell you what y'all do changes lives. I can tell you what the difference it made in my son's life, and that took a 6'5" defensive end and turned him into a guy who loves Broadway theater and the most self-confident guy on earth. So it makes a difference. It really does. You may not see it, but I think you probably do as you see these kids come in and see them develop their confidence on stage. And how that translates to them later in life is very impactful, because they then are not afraid to get up in front of a room full of people and make a presentation or a speech, and whether they go on to star on the stage or star in business or some other role in life, what y'all do with them makes a big difference. So I want to thank you for that, and thank you for being here. I think this is a wonderful program, and I think that y'all are all going to be very happy you're participating. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Randy. And for those of you that I haven't met yet, I'm sorry, I should have introduced myself. I'm Tracy Jordan. I'm the director of the DSM High School Musical Theater Awards, and it is my pleasure and delight to work with all of you throughout the years. We send our judging panels out to see your shows and share their feedback with you and your students, and prepare everything for the award show at the end of the year. So now, if you would please, I'd like to introduce you to the event chair of the DSM High School Musical Theater Awards, my good friend, Mr. John Kless.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Thank you for coming this morning. As the event chair, it's something that we started, this will be our third year we've had an event chair, and partially we do that to raise money. It costs a lot of money to put on this program, as you can imagine. But one of the joys of doing that is that you get to engage with people like Randy who have these stories from family to family over and again about how the musical theater and about how participation in musical theater has changed lives. And really, I think makes better citizens. So I think it's a very special thing you do. I just want to commend you all for what you do and work you do. I also believe that, and speak in terms of musical theater as a team sport, I think it's a much more complicated team sport in some ways than some sports. I was in an individual sport in high school, so I was really pretty much me and whoever I was fencing against. But so in this team sport, you have people on the field, you have people in the stands, you have people in the light box, you have all these people coordinating all of these efforts to come together and do something in a very live moment in a coordinated way. To me, that sounds a whole lot like life. And so I think in some ways, when you throw in the things that we know about the importance of literature, the importance about mathematics with music, you have really an opportunity to, and you are creating citizens that I think are great members of our community. And that's a large part of why we do this at DSM. So thank you very much for that. So I get to talk to you about money in two ways. I'm going to let some of our folks, there's several people from our board here today, and I'm going to let Jane and Jim speak to you a little bit more about development later. But I am going to tell you some exciting news, which is historically for the last 5 years, we have had 7 scholarships. This year, we will have more scholarships. This year, there will be more scholarships for ambassadors. But what we are most excited about is this year, in addition to the opportunity to go to New York and compete at the national level, the winner of Best Actor and Best Actress will receive a scholarship for college this year. So I think that's a great message to take back to your kids and to share with your friends at other schools that maybe haven't participated yet, because you have to participate in the program for your students to be eligible for the scholarship. So thank you again, and I'm going to let it go back to Tracy, I think, who is going to talk to you a little bit more about the rest of the different topics of the program. Did I cover everything you want me to cover for now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, John. Throughout the year, if I'm not available, sometimes we will refer you to my assistants, Sally Soldo and Amanda Stone. And just so you can put a name with the face, and it looks like Sally's, okay, this is Sally here. And behind you is Amanda Stone, about to put her finger in the donuts. And I just want you to see who they are, because you'll hear me refer to them, or you might see me refer to them in an email throughout the year. If I can't answer a question for you, or if I'm not available, they certainly are and can help you out. We try to create as much value added as possible for your participation in the program out of our appreciation for you sharing your kids with us and their wonderful talents. So throughout the year, we have ticket promotions, student discounts, group discounts, and here I'd like to introduce next to you is our group sales manager, Dee Dee Signoretto, who's going to give you some information not only for, if I'm remembering correctly, students, but we have something for teachers this year too. Is that correct?
We do. Thank you, Tracy. Good morning. So excited to have you all here today. We just love this program, as I know you do as well. We do have a new program for faculty. It's called Faculty Fridays. And it grew out of really student rush, because so many of you were saying, well, my students get this great discount to come to the shows. Do you have anything for us? So we were listening, and we now have Faculty Friday, which is the first Friday of the run of each show. And you will get a $35 ticket to receive the best house available in the seat. You also get a guest seat, so you will get 2 seats for $35. And you just arrive an hour before the performance that first Friday, and you will get the best seats in the house. So that's our way of thanking you for all you do for the students And for the High School Theater Musical Awards program, tell all your other friends. You don't have to be part of the High School Theater Musical Awards program to get this. It's for any teacher in any school, from anyone who has an ID. So I would say elementary through college. So any teachers you know, please let them know about this program. And of course, we're continuing our wonderful Student Rush program, which is a $25 ticket for the designated performances. It's generally the weeknight performances, since our weekend performances sell so well. So it's usually Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday night, I think Sunday night sometimes. So we will be, sending that out via social media. You'll have an opportunity to sign up for that. And we do have a flyer. You may have already seen it. So those two are very exciting. And the students just get one seat, but they do get the best seat in the house also. So it's very fun. They can come as a group and then talk at intermission before and after the show. So it's great fun. Now, as far as groups go, you just need a group of 10 students to get a 15% discount. A group of 35 students, you'll get a 20% discount. We do have an early bird special that's going on through September 16th. If you can get a group of students together by then to one of our shows, you will get another 5% off. That's limited to just weeknights and the Thursday matinee, which is at 1:30. That Thursday matinee is very popular for students and schools because it's like a field trip. So that's fantastic. The other thing we offer at the Thursday matinee is our post-show cast Q&A, or chat back as the industry calls it. And that's free of charge. It's a really great educational piece where you just go down to the front rows in the house and you listen. Well, they ask questions really of the cast and listen to how they got their start in show business, in theater, and how they've trained, and it really helps the students who are serious. We also have some tech people. We can request them if you'd like, if there's some students who aren't so interested in the acting part as they are in the backstage tech part. So that's really a great advantage, and we can request that for other performances besides the Thursday matinee, and we just have to wait for the company manager to approve it, but that's no cost to that. And also we have master classes, which are fabulous learning opportunities. Obviously, the cast members, designated cast members, will train your students in singing, dancing, acting, just really everything. And so I did some great news for the first show that I think is fabulous for your students is the Broadway Christmas Wonderland. Their show rep has told me that they will offer master classes at no charge. They want to get the students out to these shows. So get your groups of 10 or more together for that. There's fabulous dancing in that show. It's a wonderful show, it really is. So it was named very well. And then the next show that you won't want to miss with your students is An American in Paris. It is going to be spectacular, to say the least. And they'll have master classes as well. So be sure to get your groups together for those first two, and then you can plan for later in the year. We have Let It Be with the Beatles, fabulous show. And for the shows you can't come as a group, those are the Student Rush type shows and the Faculty Friday type shows where you come on your own. So let me think, have I forgotten anything? Oh yes, we are doing something fun this year. We haven't set up the parameters of the contest yet, but we are going to ask your students, just the High School Theater Musical Awards students, so theater arts students, to enter a contest to create a video for our Student Rush program. And the winner of that what they'll win will be determined. But we're going to, we just came up with this thought last week, so we want to make sure we do it really well. So they'll win something really significant and fun. That way the kids can take ownership of the Student Rush and get the word out via social media to their friends who aren't in theater arts, to their friends who would enjoy these shows as much as they would. So we're excited about that. So stay tuned for that information. We'll be sending it out. And does anyone have any questions about groups? Yes, ma'am.
Actually, I have a question about the master classes. When are those generally held?
They are generally held following the performance, but if it's a weekend performance, sometimes it can be before.
Okay.
It really depends on the company manager. They're all a little bit different in how they like to go about it. But for an American Paris, there will be a small cost for it. But for Broadway Christmas Wonderland, he has indicated there will be no cost. So that's a great opportunity. Anybody else? Well, I'm going to give a flyer to Tracy regarding the shows, and there is a student discount, a significant student discount for groups. So I'm going to print that out when I go downstairs now and bring it back up for Tracy to hand out to you later. And my information will be on there. So don't hesitate to call me if you have any questions about getting a group together. And you just have to have a 50% deposit in by September 16th to get that additional 5% early bird discount for the weeknight performances or the Thursday matinee. So, and we work with schools, so we can't do it with a purchase order though, it has to be a check. So you'll have to get busy quickly if you want to get that discount. Okay, so great to be here with you, and you all have become the most exciting part of DSM, I think, this program, because it's the next generation of actors, and we love what you all do. So thank you.
You know, that's terrific. Every year we've had the student rush promotion, and I talk about that when I go out to the schools, and the teachers always say, "What about us?" And I thought, gosh, I wish we could include that. But so now finally we can, and I'm delighted. You know, we refine this and we get a little bit better each year. And after 6 years, well, after 5 years, I thought, you know, we have so many questions about these school groups for the award show and those school group orders. I should have Stephen Hotz come in and talk to you about that and answer your questions at the front end rather than at the back end. So here's your chance. Let me introduce to you Stephen Hotz, our box office manager, who handles all of your group set up orders for the award show. Right.
Okay, did everyone get the staple piece that has the colored seating chart on the second page? This is the one that you will need for my part of the presentation today. If you don't have one, I've got some extras up here. So after 5 years of doing this, last year we actually ran out of seats for student groups. And along with that, I mean, we've gone from 25 schools 5 years ago to 85 schools participating. So the demand for the school seats has increased, and we actually ran out of those. Do I have to be behind the microphone?
Yeah, it would be better for the streaming, sorry.
Okay, I'll stand behind the microphone. So after 5 years, grown from 25 to 85 schools, ran out of seats. So we've had questions about how the seating assignments are determined. And so to address both of those issues, we've decided to make some changes to how the student ticketing is going to be done this year. So how many people have done this before, have ordered tickets for your school through the box office through me? Okay, great. So everything is changing, not everything, but a lot of things are changing. So this is the time to pay attention. I'm not going to insult you by reading that cover letter to you, okay? I had a professor in college that did that, and I hated it, so I'm not going to bother reading that letter to you. You can read that on your own. I do want to point out we are still starting ticket prices at $10, but this year we have several different prices. So you can see on the pretty colored chart, the pink pricing up in the top is still $10. The blue pricing in front of that is $15. The green pricing, both in the second balcony and in the rear orchestra, is $25 for the purple in the rear orchestra, $25 for the red in the first balcony, and then $30 for the yellow down in the first orchestra. So your seating assignment will be determined by which ticket price you're interested in purchasing. Okay. Secondly, we will be seating all of the student groups on a first-come, first-served basis. So the second determining factor is how soon you turn in your order form with full payment for the tickets as to which seats you will receive. We will date stamp all of the orders as they come into the box office. Once we reach the the school group deadline for purchasing tickets, we will go back and seat the orders based on the date received. putting you as close to the front and as close to the center as possible for the first order, and then branching out from there. It is possible we may reallocate some seating depending on demand as we go, just so that you know. But this is the starting point for where we're going to start. Let's see. So seating is subject to availability. So at some point, if we get enough orders and we run out of seats in that particular price, you will have the option of either moving to a higher price or a lesser price, and either paying the difference or receiving a refund for the difference, whichever that might be at that point. But again, first come, first serve, so stuff sells out. I think that was everything I had with that. So I did want to talk about the order form and also the payment policy. Again, you can see on the sheet that I'm not going to read to you that we need the tickets paid for with one payment, and we cannot accept purchase orders, so it would need to be a check or something like that. Okay, yes, ma'am.
When's the first day we can order?
Question is, when is the first day they can order? Tracy, do you remember the date? We've actually set a date for that. I'm sorry, it's probably in my notes back at my seat. But we are going to be announcing tickets on sale. It's like 2 or 3 weeks before the announcement of the nominations.
March 18 or March 20, something like that. That's third week of March.
It's, I'm sorry, that's right. It's the Monday after spring break. At least I know it's RASD spring break, but the Monday after that is when we'll start taking orders. Thanks. Jog the memory there. Okay, on the order form. Everybody turn to the order form page. So the top part is fairly self-explanatory. On the next part, you would write, I filled in the first 3 blocks. The 4th block, price level, you would write in price level 3 through 8, right? So on the colored seating chart, number 3, price level 3 is the yellow $30 tickets. Price level 8 are the $10 pink tickets. You would fill in a number there, 3 through 8 for the price level. And if it's the green tickets, price level 6, you might put in their rear orchestra or second bout so that I know which you prefer. Otherwise, I'll just pick. Number of tickets. Obviously, you would write in the number of tickets that you have, ticket price, and then total tickets times price. So let's say we're in price level 8. You're ordering 20 tickets. Ticket price is $10. The number 200 would go in that final column. Okay. Then there is a second line, because what if some of your students want to pay $30 and some want to pay $10? You have a second line to work with. If you need more lines, we can figure that out. But then you could write in 5 tickets at $30 for $150. Okay. Then you would add those two together. So the 200 plus the 150 brings you down to a total of 350 in the big bold box at the bottom. Presuming that you want your 2 complimentary tickets, each school receives 2 complimentary tickets, you would write in the number 2 here in the complimentary box, and then you would add that up. So you would have 20 plus 5 plus 2 is 27. The number 27 would appear in the big black box underneath the number of seats. Okay, this is just to help me make sure that I understand what you wrote on the order form correctly. By totaling it up, it serves as a check to make sure that I'm reading your handwriting and that I know exactly what you want. And then you would have the payment information below. Any questions on how to fill out the order form when you're ordering tickets? Okay, any questions about the payment policy? Any questions about the letter at the top giving all the information? If not, I've got a quick quiz. Yes, sir.
I noticed that right here it says parents, friends, boosters, faculty members must purchase a full price, and we've done that. But if you already know where the schools are I get this question every year.
Mhm.
Parents are like, if I buy a ticket and tell them that we're from Waxahachie, will they try to accommodate us? We try to sit as close to us as possible. I didn't know if that was even possible, or if it goes to a computer randomly picks a.
That's a great question. So the question is, how do the parents who are purchasing tickets separate from your school group, because your school group is just for students and chaperones, okay? And that's official chaperones. That's not like 2 adults for every child who are chaperoning their child, right? Okay, I get, it's like, 1 adult for every 20-ish kids, something. Okay, how do they know where to purchase tickets? We're getting closer at it this year, because this year you'll be able to know, based on that color scheme where you are, and you can say, well, we're going to be in one of these yellow areas. The seats that are not colored in on the chart, the ones that are just left white, those are the ones that are available for purchase from parents and other people, boosters, whoever's coming. So once you know that you're kind of in the yellow area, you can say, hey, if you purchase white seats near these yellow, then you're good. Because I'm not entirely sure how everybody's going to fit in, I don't want to just assign seats as soon as I get them. So let's say you turn your order in that Monday after spring break. You're the first order in. I know that you're going to have the best seats in that price level, but if we have to manipulate the seating allocations later on, I don't want to assign your seats and then seat somebody else better than you who gets their order in later. So we're going to try it this year and see if we can keep refining it next year. Once we do hit that deadline of May 1st, I should be making the seating assignments pretty quick after that, and then I would be able to send an email confirmation out to you saying your seats are going to be in this area. Okay. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Just to note advice, I had a lot of parents also who were upset that you couldn't sit in the same section as their kids. I just remind those parents there's a bar. We stay with the kids and
right.
Take a look at the team and be with the kids. That's what I prefer sitting far away from the kids.
That's exactly it. Thank you. Yes, he's saying that some parents actually prefer not to be with all of their kids' friends. Not their kid, just their kids' friends. All right. So I thought it'd be fun to do a quick quiz, okay, with fabulous prizes. All right. So all these questions are true or false, right? Let's make it easy. Question number 1. The ticket information in my packet is highly confidential and needs to be kept secret. I should not share it with anyone. Oh, sorry. Who was first? Come on, raise hand, something. There we go. Whoops, sorry. There we go, a little bit further back. All right. Number 2, yeah, I'm a terrible thrower. I'm good at the questions. Sorry. We will have the best seats because our school got 8 nominations this year. That guarantees us the best seats. All right. This side is doing great. Somebody over there. Heads up, heads up, heads up. Come on, stay awake. Parents can sit next to their students if they will call the box office and repeatedly ask where their school is seated. Yeah, there we go. One for you. Excellent. All right. All of our school's tickets have to be the same price. Oh, it's nice. Over here. Somebody over there. Whoop, heads up. There you go. All right. All right. The Booster Club parents, that's the officers, can be included in the school's ticket order because they keep bothering me. Oh, Snow, sorry. Over here. Somebody over there. Come on, I got to get rid of these, otherwise I have to take them home. All right, let's see. I can bring 6 checks from various parents plus a handful of cash to the box office to pay for our tickets. Oh, so that's right. Sorry, you were laughing. I'm sorry, you got to take candy. All right. I can give the box office a purchase. No, wait, sorry. I will get my tickets in the mail soon after I place my order. This is one of the parts you have to read. False, that's right. You pick up the tickets at will call. Who knew it over here? You haven't got any candy yet. All right. Let's see. I can give the box office a PO number as long as the school finance office sends a check sometime before the last day of school in June. Oh, that's right. Yes, I want the money up front. Okay. If all I want are my 2 complimentary tickets, I don't have to do anything. They just magically appear at the will call window. All right, good. Up back here. Who else? Oh. It's the thrower, not the catcher. Sorry. All right. The box office will accept my firstborn child as collateral, and then I can pay for the tickets at the awards. Paul's right. It's taken me 18 years to get rid of mine. I don't want yours. Somebody else over that way. Let's see. I don't have to order tickets for my 2 students who are in the finale number. False. Everybody has to have a ticket. That's right. You kind of can't get it. All right. If I am running late to the awards show, I can just tell some students to go pick up the tickets from will call. Right? No, I do not want to see your students at the will call window. One person from your school comes to the will call window to pick up all of the tickets, and then they distribute them as you need to. All right, final question, okay? You're having trouble figuring out what the answer is going to be already, right? All box office employees are just frustrated actors who didn't get cast. Oh, so that's right. I am not a frustrated actor. Thank you very much.
She's great. That's a tough act to follow. I'm looking at our internal calendar and I see a date of Monday, March 20th, which you've probably already figured out for that deadline. And right at the end there, Stephen mentioned something that's really important. If your school, if you're newly participating, haven't participated before, we think it's really important that you have something to show your colleagues, your principal, your vice principal, the people in your independent school district that you participated in this program. So we want to make sure that every single person has a certificate that recognizes their participation. At this point in time, I can tell you that it will be suitable for framing. It might even come framed, I'm not sure yet. But we think it's important because we want you to rack these up over the years so that you have something that you can literally point to and say, we participated in this program and it's been very beneficial and this is why. I just find that those concrete things are important, right? And so to that end, how do you receive that certificate? You receive that certificate by making sure that your 2 students, obviously you enroll in the program, go through the program, but you also make sure that 2 students from your school, at the very least, if you are not nominated for award or for whatever reason, you must have 2 students participate in the rehearsals for and be on stage for the finale. 2 faculty members must come. That will be a total of 4 people with rumps in the seat, as they say, from your school. Because I will tell you in a little bit how important it is to have the whole experience. This year, I went through our whole experience, which I've been through 5 years, but I also went to New York, and it changed my life. And I think if you go through all of the process of this experience and don't do that final piece, you're really letting yourselves down, your kids down, your programs down, and your independent school districts down. So that's a slightly new program for this year, and we're very excited about it to include you in that. So now, for more fun people talking besides me, I want to introduce you to our public relations specialist. His name is Francisco Chairez. And Francisco is going to talk to you today about the PR that we do and all of the PR that we've gained in the last year, which I think is also important to you. And we can begin to help share those outlets with you so that you can disseminate them to your schools as well, because we're getting a lot of press and getting a lot of advertising partners. Thanks.
Well, hello everyone, and I hope everyone's as excited as I am for this year's awards program. And so I'm here to tell you about, a little bit of what I do, which is public relations. So I handle all publicity for DSM and DSM MGI shows, and I also do media relations. But what's important is for you to know how you can help us, for this program to expose it and gain more visibility. And we can do that in 2 ways, by storytelling and by engaging. So first of all, I like to think of the performing arts as the magical world that transports us to a place where everything is possible. But I think that it's important for us to tell the stories of how that happens and who makes that happen, which is your students and yourselves. And I believe that, with hundreds of students, everybody has a story to tell. but it's so hard for me to be able to say, oh, your student has a compelling story and your student does. So I need your help in sharing those stories with me. And an example is, for instance, last awards program, there was a young lady that we weren't able to share her story because there was not enough time and there was no space. But I would have loved to have shared her story. And so she was a student that had come from Kenya. And she fled the genocide that was happening in that country with her whole family. And she came to America and she, went through a lot of different things, which I don't know really the details, and I would have loved to, share her story with the world. And then she was actually nominated for, I believe, a supporting role. And I believe that those are the stories that people want to hear about, that people would like to just read and share, with the world. And so I would like for you to share those stories with me of your students. Of course, some of them don't like to talk, about personal things, but if there's something that is compelling and they would like to, share it, I would love, to tell that story on behalf of them. And another way that, we can share those stories is by you guys engaging with us through our hashtag, which is this year is going to be DSM HSTMA 17. And you can find that on one of the pamphlets there, which is labeled social media and press. And also my contact information is there. And so I would love for you guys that every time, you have dress rehearsals, every time that you shoot a video or sharing different stories of, set design and what you're doing behind the scenes as well, to use the hashtag and to also tag us on our different social media platforms, which for Facebook is Dallas Summer Musicals, and for all the other ones, it's DS Musicals. So if you guys can share all those stories, I would love to share them with the world as well. So thank you so much.
Sorry, me again. Now I have the pleasure of introducing two very important people in our organization that we work with very closely. Both are from development, and so I would like to introduce to you today our Vice President of Development on the Executive Committee and Board of Dallas Summer Musicals, James Shane, and her partner in crime, the Director of Development for DSM, Mr. Jim Jenner.
Good morning, everyone. I'm a volunteer, just like you all, in this DSM world. And my role as a volunteer is about development, which I'll speak a bit about in just a minute. But as I was getting ready this morning, I was asking myself, why do I care so much about this high school program? What can I relate to you all as teachers? And I quickly remembered how important music programs were when I was a high schooler. I was a good clarinetist and involved in all aspects of wherever I could play my clarinet. It was very important to me. But every single morning when I entered high school, I would tromp through the music department just to check on it and say hello. It was my home base. And the teachers in our music department marked my life forever. They were the teachers that I think of at the top of the list when I remember my high school experience. And I even chose my college based on which one had a super great music program because I wanted to be near one and to continue to participate. So I want to thank you, teachers. I'm kind of projecting it now decades later for the investment you're making in the high schoolers' lives. So important. My role now at DSM is about development, which is really making sure money gets into DSM. You may not be aware, but a lot of our revenue, which comes from ticket sales, is very significant. But a significant part of what keeps the wheels moving is contributed revenue, which comes from donations, gifts, and so on. So that means we spend a lot of time furthering those relationships with key individuals, frankly, who have large wallets, and love musical theater with corporations and with foundations. And so there are lots of sources of gifts that need to come in and do come into DSM. My day job now is with Texas Instruments and has been for a number of years. And so what I'm bringing into this puzzle of DSM is just a real understanding of how to grow this machine. And I want to relate to you how important the high school musical theater program is to DSM. It is the program that we brag about the most. When we go talk to key donors, we always mention the awards and how vital it is. But it's not just turn the crank, do another year. I think you can pick up how much energy and devotion we have to making this grow every single year. And the truth is, every year it's gotten bigger and better. And that's the mission we're on. More scholarships, more schools, more students, more awards, bigger trips, etc. So we have a lot of energy going into keeping this as vibrant as we can. So Jim, I'm going to turn it over to you to talk a little bit more about some other things we're doing.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jim Jenner. I'm the Director of Development here. I've been here for about 2 years, but I've spent the last 11 years of my career trying to do great things with art in the community, but also for the community. Really, really grateful to all of you, for your participation. You make this program into what it is. When I first started here, Texas Instruments, which Jane referenced and she represents on our executive committee, we were sitting down talking about our season sponsorship. They are our season sponsor. They contribute $75,000 to support this organization. And their director of philanthropy asked me a question. He said, Jim, who do you guys partner with? And I said, I don't know the answer yet, but I'm going to find out. Over the last 2 years, I've kind of seen this program in particular, and I've learned that last year we had 67 partners, plus all the other things that we do in the community. This year, hopefully, we'll have more than 67 partners, and that's all of you and your schools. Another thing that's very key that Jane mentioned is this is a program. It's an event. It's a very special event that happens on one evening, but it all starts 7 to 9 months beforehand with all of you and the work that you do in your classrooms on your local stages. So we're so grateful to kind of have that. I'm lucky to have that because this program helps us shine. When I sit down with a corporation or a foundation or a wealthy individual. But it also speaks to people who are less wealthy, people who are the kind of lifeblood of our organization that make $20 gifts, $50 gifts to our annual fund every year. Gifts here, yes, they help support what happens on the stage and the presentations, but tickets support a lot of that. What it really is supporting is our community investments. All the other things that we do to create access. We started a VETS program last year where we're serving military veterans and their families. We're closing in and deepening our partnership with DISD this year and other schools. Last year, my dream come true. Me and the team worked on our first ever community performance. And we gave away every single seat in the music hall to one performance of The Little Mermaid on Friday, March 11th. It was a really, really, really special night full of smiles and energy. So that's my work is, in a nutshell, is to go and find money. But I have a lot of partners. I have Jane, I have John, I have the board, I have all of you. Because you guys speak and you're advocates. When you're out in your communities, when you're out in your life worlds, in your neighborhood, talk to them about this program. It's kind of keying into what Francisco was sharing. Share your stories, the local stories that happen in the schools, because it's what deepens and makes this program as special as it is, as it continues to grow and get bigger. Also wanted to let you know that North Texas Giving Day is coming. I don't know if you are all familiar with that. It's September 22nd this year. So all gifts made to the Communities Foundation of Texas on their North Texas Giving Day site are multiplied. So if you have friends, families, if you know a wealthy family that peddles in gold bricks, please let them know about that day. Every gift counts here. I always say that is, yes, I have to go find large gifts, but the people that make it matter are the people that give $5. So think about DSM, think about the High School Musical Theater Awards on North Texas Giving Day. We all come together, we all make that difference. And a lot of this goes to scholarships to help support the kids. And I know that from John all the way down, or all the way up to the top of our board, everyone is committed to the idea of trying to make those scholarships increase year by year by year. So thank you again for everything you do.
Thank you, Jane and Jim. We appreciate it very much. I just want to stress to all of you, I know you mostly just see me during the year. And at the award show, you'll see our volunteers that are here, and you might have glancing interactions with some of our board members while you're here for the award show. But I want to stress to you how much and how many people work so very hard on this program throughout the year to make it successful, to make it the best in terms of educational products for your students, and for you, the value added to it. Our board is hugely behind this program, and it's very heartening for me. You know, when we first started this, my boss, Michael Jenkins, at the time, he said, "I think this is a part-time job. I think you could probably make it a full-time job." Well, it's that and then some. And my testimony is, without the help of all of these wonderful people over here, we wouldn't all be sitting here. So thank you all very much. I appreciate you. Now, speaking of the award show, this year, our two winners, Caden Maines and John Frederickson, our Best Actress and Best Actor winners, went to compete in New York. And this year, for the first time, our program has been recognized nationally. At the national level, yes. And I'll tell you, John and I were sitting next to each other at the men's golf. And when they come back from intermission, at the top of the second act, is when they announce the finalists. And the second name they called was John Frederickson. And we both came up our seats. Everybody in the audience probably went, "Yeah, that must be those Texas people." But we were so proud and thrilled for him and for Caden. They both were recognized with $2,500 scholarships. John, as one of the 4 finalists, was able to sing his contrasting solo on the men's golf stage on Broadway by himself. Nobody else out there. So I think it's fantastic that we've got kids we're sending to New York to make their Broadway debuts. Really. So another person I haven't mentioned to you yet, and I'm about to, my dear friend Tina Walsh, who she and I are both native sons and daughters of Dallas, and both spent a big part of our careers working and sometimes together in Las Vegas. And Tina has for years been playing Madame Jury, both in Las Vegas and on the international tour of Phantom of the Opera. And she had posted on her Facebook page, "Oh, I've just gotten back home to Dallas." So I sent her a message and called her and I said, "That's terrific, let me take you to lunch." And so I took her to lunch, and she came away with some bruises on her arm from where I twisted it, asking her if she would help prepare our kids both for what we're doing now here is we're trying to emulate as closely as possible what the kids, whoever goes to New York, will encounter when they go up there. So after we announce nominees, our Best Actor and Actress, Lead Actor and Actress nominees, we take in hand, and they do a final performance for all of our judges, all of our assembled judges. You know, we can't get all of the judges to all of the shows at the same time. The program is just too big. In fact, we just added the high school from Friendship Independent School District in Lubbock. And Durant, Oklahoma is in the house today. Where are you, Durant? Here we are. Welcome. And so our program as a regional program keeps expanding. And so it's just physically impossible for all of our judges to put all eyes on the same performances at the same time. That would be the best of all possible worlds. So the next best thing is when we have our finalist nominees, we bring them together here at the music hall and have them all do a performance for the judges a day or two before the award show. They sing, they do their medleys, so they perform from their nominated role, and then they sing a contrasting solo from anything in the musical theater repertoire. And Tina was very kind this year to, along with our musical director, Mark Reimer, to coach those kids and help prepare them for that final performance. And what we're trying to do there is start a process that will culminate with our two kids that we sent to New York. And I've asked her to come this morning and talk to you as well as Alicia Crockwell. Alicia, as things have worked out, as this is a first, you've had. Yes, and then I'm going to bring them up. You actually have had a Best Actress winner, followed the next year by a Best Actor winner. So you worked very closely with Caitlin, helping her to prepare. And we're going to show you some videos first. And then I want them to come and talk to you about that preparation process. Because if you have students that you think are strong contenders and could potentially make it to New York, the best thing that we can do for them is to start that preparation process for them as early as possible. I know we had several kids that were Best Actor, Actress nominees that showed up for our first rehearsal, and they had their awards, their nominated role song that they sang, and they hadn't worked on anything else. And that puts them immediately at a disadvantage. Now, some of these kids are studying with private voice teachers. Some of them are working with their teachers out on the campus. But probably one of the most time-consuming aspects of that whole process was the amount of time that they put into finding the best song to show them off, both in terms of acting ability and range, which is a big factor with a lot of these young singers. So they're going to talk to you about what it is that New York is looking for, which translates down to that's what we're looking for. And we're going to show you two videos. Have you found those?
Yeah, they're not linked together. I'll just have to do it.
Okay, which one do you want to show first?
Miss Faye?
Okay, the first video that we are going to show you is the young lady, I forget where she was from, which program she's from.
It doesn't say on this screen.
South Carolina, North Carolina, the Blooming Awards in North Carolina. A beautiful young African-American actress that sang from Jekyll and Hyde. And then we'll show you the performance of John singing his contrasting solo on the stage there at Men's Golf. And then we'll have the ladies come up to talk. We'll pull this out.
Well, that's right. That's not on this screen. Oh. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
The National High School Musical Theater Awards is a week of rehearsals where winners from their regional programs come to New York. It ends in a show on Monday night at the Men's Golf Theater. There are two winners that are chosen, one boy and one girl, and they receive a Jimmy Award named after Jimmy Wheeler.
There are over 50,000 students that participate in regional programs in over 1,000 high schools. And we bring the two top kids from each one of these programs to New York and to experience and work alongside of Broadway professionals. And we hope that they do go on to pursue careers in theater.
No, don't touch that.
Who have been asked to come in and work with 10 students each. Personally,
I
I
don't even
think
know
that's
why the sound started.
we've already won the competition's full right.
No, of course not.
Within one day, we learned the entire opening, and that within the lifetime,
working with and Kathleen and Keisha and Michael, the level of talent is so much more than anybody could possibly imagine, because these are the kids that come to Broadway and go to the great theaters around the world. I believe it is the most exhilarating, rewarding experience that you can have.
It's been on like my bucket list to perform on the Broadway stage, and I never really thought it would happen. So I'm like 17 years old and I get to perform on a Broadway stage.
On your feet, I was on my feet, like, I love it, and I was still, it was so cool. And just to know that was the original Broadway cast, and when it came out, I was just like, these are the people who perform for like all the way up until this actor, like, this is so amazing.
You gotta stop that. She says it's an extended screen. So it's the first.
So smart.
Yeah, but this is not what we want to see.
What do you want to see?
Individual ones. I think we should just.
Where are they?
The first day, as resident with the one word was open. The open to the faith, the open to the.
Okay. Thank you, Francisco.
Right time, I'm turning a Movie Award to sing the New Life from Jacqueline Hyde.
Yeah, this is right, this is right.
Yeah. going to run away with me, he'll be unauthorized violator, he'll be Matthew Brown. John Clay.
I will have a heat sign me up to be on the road like some country song. Won't be wrong. Stand ready, let's go. That the car packed and thrown me free. I'm not trying to make you fight here. I'm not trying to tie you down. I'm just saying there might be a life here, a new one. As soon as we run, just as soon as we run away. We see but watch me slide through on the road like Jack Kerouac. Through like Jack, you ready, Sam? Let me be right out of town. Run away with me. California dreams here we come. Romeo is calling for truth. Ready, set, Samuel, ready, let's go. Anywhere, say a word, and I'm already there.
Tina. Alicia, will you all come up, please?
Good morning. Happy first week of school, everybody. I probably look as tired as I feel, and I'm sorry about that. I just wanted to say that this has been a really incredible experience for our students who have gotten to go. And we are really grateful for all of the help that we got. Tina was amazing working with John and Tracy and John Klutz. They all worked together to make the experience really great. So anybody who has a student that makes it to New York, you know that they're completely taken care of. Because I don't know about y'all, but these are my babies. I love these kids like they're my own. And so it feels really great to send them off to New York with people that you know are going to take care of them and be with them every step of the way. And so that's what I wanted to say. I also wanted to say that Mr. Crotwell works with our kids incredibly. And a lot of times, somehow, I end up getting credit for a lot of his work. And so I just wanted to say that Mr. Crotwell works, I can say Chris, we're not at school. Chris Crotwell really works hard with our kids. And if it weren't for him, they wouldn't have the opportunities that they have. This was both Caitlin and John's first experience in New York. So this program offered them their very first opportunity to go to New York. And so I was getting texts of what the city looks like and how exciting it was. And both of them, that was their dream to get to perform on Broadway. And but to even just to go to New York at all. And all it did was make them want it more. And they both came back. Caitlin graduated right after, but they both came back working so much harder and trying so much more. And so I thought that was really great. I guess kind of what we did to prepare both of them was work on their second piece as early as possible. And what is difficult, I think, for all of us, because that kind of falls right in the middle of one-act play. And so we're working on our one-acts and also working with our kids musically. And so it's kind of really fun, I think, because you have a different focus during the one-act play time, which is really great. Some of the things we did was work their songs like monologues. Chris did a great job of helping them find songs musically that worked for them and worked with their voices and things like that. And then we worked together on the acting, and we worked really hard to break the song down into beats and think of the entire journey of the song. And I know that Tina did incredible work with them, so I'm really gonna turn it over to her because she's the one that did a whole lot of work with John right before he went. But we wanted the opportunity to say thank you very, very much to the DSM High School Musical Theater Awards and all of the people that work to make all of it happen. And to tell you that if you do have a student that makes it to New York, they take care of them like they're their own children. And so it was really nice to have our babies up there secure with people who love them and care about them. Thank you very much.
I'm going to sneak in because Tracy knows a lot of celebrities. I don't know as many celebrities, so when I first met the woman that you're about to be introduced to, I was very excited. What you may or may not know, and you covered some of this, is there was a show that left Broadway and went to Las Vegas, and it kind of started a trend, and it was called Mamma Mia. The young lady you're about to meet, Tina Walsh, was Donna Sheridan in the original cast of Mamma Mia in Las Vegas. So she is Las Vegas musical theater legendary in Las Vegas musical theater. I mean, you really are. I read it on the internet, on the interweb. You can do that. But in addition, she's just completed a world tour of Phantom of the Opera as Madame Giry. Did I say it right? Yes, you did. Okay. Directed by Hal Prince. So when she speaks to you, and there's a lot of information in her bio and resume in between those two bookends, but she really is a true musical theater star, and she's the winner of our first ever Pullenweider Award, which is given to somebody who graduated from high school in Dallas and ultimately goes on to a professional career and distinguishes themselves in musical theater. And so it's my pleasure to introduce you to musical theater star Tina Walsh.
Thank you, John.
Where did you go to high school?
I went to Bishop Lynch.
Yay!
I also went to Richland College, and I graduated at University of Texas at Dallas. My first job was at Six Flags. I was a senior in high school, Southern Palace, and my third year there, I received a scholarship at Six Flags so that I could finish my education. I just want to say that this program with DSM is a personal thing for me. I grew up here. I came here to see musicals with my mother, and I didn't have an opportunity that all these amazing, talented high school students have. I did have other experiences. I had the Dallas Parks and Recreation, and I had the Junior Players Guild. But when Tracy asked me, and it's really Tracy, that it's true, he did take me to lunch, and he did twist my arm, and I did have bruises, you know. But I didn't hesitate at all, because I take this very personal. If I have an opportunity to pay this forward to young artists, the things that I have learned along the way, if I can communicate with the young artists of today and they can get it, it's so much easier for them in this business. Because this business is exciting and wonderful, but it can be tricky, you know? It's feast or famine, you know? But you can have the most amazing experience, and I want that for them. I want them to get it. I want them to go as far as they possibly can. And it also can change into other businesses, you know, whatever they decide to do in their life. When Tracy asked me, I was asked to work with the contrasting solos of the 18 nominees, Best Actor, Best Actresses. So I worked very intensely with them. I gave them exercises, and I really got to the heart of it. Number one, I can't stress it enough when you come here, how important it is to make sure that they have more than one contrasting song here. Because it may not work, it may not be in the right key. and it may not be the right key for them. So come here with more than one contrasting solo, an up-tempo, a ballad. Make sure it's something that speaks to their heart, that they get, that they understand, and they can relate to it. Something that brings themselves to the table. When all is said, when we're moving on to the nationals, because I intensely worked with the two winners, and we worked it technically and artistically. That's how I work. I'm kind of a strategist when it comes to that. Know the music on the back of your hand. Don't just assume you know the music, because the music is there for a reason, so know the music. Know what, because there are going to be different pianists that are going to play, and if you are not as solid with the music, it will throw you off, because this is what will happen. They'll keep looking at them. Why? Instead of performing to your audience. Know the music. Make sure that your students know their music. Artistically, that's where I work. I work on both ends, making sure that it's in the right key for them, that brings out the best quality of their voice. Tracy, there is a website, is it correct, with a list of songs that will be listed for them when it comes to that stage, correct?
Yes, NHSMTA, which stands for the National High School Musical Theater Awards, it's those initials, nhsmta.com.
And they can go on that.
Yeah.
And you can check the list of the songs, and they're already pre-edited, so you can check that out, see if there's anything there that your student might, if you have somebody in mind or a few of them that you feel are going to be possibly nominated for Best Actor, Best Actress. I would look and see if some of those songs for contrasting numbers would be a great fit for them. I went to New York. I was a chaperone for 10 days and stayed in the dorm with 62 high school students. And it was so much fun. It really was. It is intense. That's all I can say. Because not only do you have to prepare them to artistically sing and perform in front of people they've never performed before, they've got to be ready to go. It is from the morning till the evening. I mean, we have got to be seated in our seats like at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. Like breakfast starts at such and such and it ends, and you've got to go. They work like clockwork there. So they've got to be well rested and ready to go for this. And it doesn't stop. They go from one room to the other. There's also, I can't stress enough, they have a dance audition. It's kind of something new from this year. And after experiencing just recently, auditing the college mock auditions for the musical theater degrees, they have a dance audition. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to get everybody in that dance mode. They don't have to be perfect, beautiful dancers, but they're able to pick up a choreography quickly, be able to perform it, be able to have some type of movement classes would be beneficial to them. I know that was kind of a shock, and it kind of put a little bit of a shakiness to a lot of the students. But as it goes along, 10 days is a long day, a long time. So what you saw there, the two performing on the Minspot, they have gone 10 days of intense practice, auditioning. I think when we first got there, we came there on a Saturday, some people were coming on a Sunday. They started right on Monday that they had to audition for the Tisch Art, School of Arts, the faculty. And that was the telltale sign of who was going to be in what medleys and who was going into the production number. Right off the bat. So they've got to be ready to go. So I can't stress enough to make sure that the contrasting solos are there, ready to go, so that we don't have any questions last minute.
Does anybody have any questions you'd like to ask Tina about that process? How to prepare?
Tina, can you talk a little bit about the coordinating during the week, how important that is?
I'm sorry?
The students to coordinate during the week, how their behavior affects.
Oh, their behavior.
Yeah, just how important it is
yes.
that you are present at all times.
This is something that I learned a long time ago. It's not so much, they watch your performance, but they also watch you off stage. They watch you, how you interact with people in the lunchroom. They interact on how you behave on campus, on sitting on the sides. They really do. And how you take information and direction. They watch that overall, they really judge. And when the list goes up on who's going into the medleys and who's going into the production number, they watch to see the reactions. And that's part of it. So you have to be on your guard and be the best. Every one of them has to be the best ambassador to their school, be the best representative of their school. And I stress that highly to both John and Caden, how important that was. Because I know it threw them off because they came into they got into the production number, and I said, whoa, 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 this is new. Hold on, just wait. It's just the beginning. You don't know how this might be really cool to be in. But you're thinking, oh, I'm in production number. It means that I haven't gotten the medleys. That means I'm not going to be one of them. No, that's not true, because there's more scholarships in the production group. Hold on. And I'm glad I was there, because I was able to stop that worry and being upset and thinking that I didn't want them to lose their interest in learning everything possible. During the whole week, they could learn from so many people. They can give them so much. So I said, just wait. The next day, they're like, oh my gosh, it's the choreographers from On Your Feed. We get to learn their choreography. I've got a solo. Oh my God. I said, see, so just like go with this. Enjoy the ride. Just really be thankful you're there and just have the best time and get the most out of it. Let them see that they can get the most out of all of this. And the friendships. They realize that they have made friendships throughout the whole nation, which is priceless. Any questions?
Can you talk a little bit about who they performed in front of and who they...
Oh, at the Minskoff? Yeah. Lord Andrew Lloyd Webber was there. I still love him. Yes. He was there in the audience, as well as Tara Rubin was one of the judges who cast me in 2 shows, which was Mamma Mia and Phantom, and who else was there? There was a lot of people there.
Bernie Telsey.
Essentially the casting director, all the casting.
Yeah, all the casting directors. I knew Tara was there.
The interesting thing about that award show is that not just high school. All of Broadway turns out for this thing. All the big hoo-has from up and down the Great White Way are there to see these kids. So it really is the potential, as we've seen with Ava Lozada over from North Carolina, to launch a career, to be able to do a performance in front of those people. Those are the ones that matter. And so it's an opportunity. And I tell the kids, look, whether you win anything or not, one of the most important things you do during the week that you're here is start your Rolodex. I know that's probably a big term these days, but start, because they got to meet Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yeah,
they get to meet Rachel Hoffman. She's one of the biggest casting directors on Broadway. Make a point that they remember you and get their contact information. Start that communication now, because you're going to be auditioning for these people in the not too distant future. So it's a tremendous opportunity.
Yeah, the one thing that we're at NYU, which is I don't know, in the financial district pretty much, and John Frederickson had never been to New York, had never seen Times Square. So I think it was the third day, fourth day we were there, we got out early. And Hayden had been to New York with her mom before, but he said, can we go to Times Square? And I went, you know what, I need to show John what he's doing, why he's doing this, so he can see what this buzz is about, what Times Square is, where the Broadway shows are. Most of them are on the sides, you know, you have to go down the alleys and go, there it is. And it gave him such an excitement. And I was so glad I was able to do that, to show him that, so that he knew the rest of the week how exciting it was. And I showed them the men's golf and said, this is where you're going to be on Monday. So it was thrilling for me to be able to do that for them. Do you have any questions? Anything? All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Tina. If you ever want to take a trip to New York, that last week of June when they do the show, I can highly recommend it. You get to see the best, most talented kids from across the country, over 30 different organizations, so 60 kids, 30 boys, 30 girls, and it's just exhilarating and exciting. Now I'd like to introduce you very quickly. We've talked a little bit from the ticketing standpoint about the award show, but I would like to bring up Tim Colley and Teresa Natera, who are in charge of our volunteers, we have a lot of our DSM Guild and our DSM judges who volunteer their time on the night before during that dress rehearsal and on the day of the show to make sure your kids get where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be. And I just wanted to come in and talk to you a little bit about the award show process. Teresa?
All right, trying to do this quickly. How are you guys doing? Need to stretch or anything? Okay. I want to thank Tracy for inviting me to come today and kind of speak to you for a couple of minutes. I want to recognize Sally and Amanda. I see these people work for me from the day after the award show. It's literally, okay, what can we do better for next year? And it's just working really, really hard, many, many long hours just because they're passionate about these kids. John Klutz was such a great addition to the team this last year as the chair, and has really pushed everyone to a higher level of success with the award show. He's insisted on excellence and accountability from all of us that have been involved with it. So thank you for all your hard work, John. A little bit about me. I am the owner of Core Talent. We're a talent agency, and we represent approximately 200 actors in Texas, California, and the Southeast for work in film, television, etc. I also have a background in theater performance and education. I have or currently work with students in Mesquite ISD, Little Elm ISD, and I continue to act locally, professionally whenever I can. So I became involved with DSM years ago. I started out as a judge. I loved it. I came on board to volunteer as one of the backstage coordinators, working alongside my colleague Tim Colley. It's fantastic, and kind of mentored me and showed me the ropes on everything that goes on backstage during the awards. And then starting last year, I also volunteered to help coordinate all of the volunteers for the award show and for the rehearsal that took place Wednesday night for the awards, which was a new addition this year. It was really, really great in helping get the kids prepared for the award show day. A little bit about volunteer recruitment. Let me kind of just briefly let you know some of the roles that we have, and this is a great opportunity for some of the parents that may want to be there and be involved and have something productive to do throughout the day, and they just kind of want to be a part of this for their kids. So some of the roles that we have for volunteers, award acceptor assistant, best show host, MC wrangler, we have an MC wrangler, green room assistants, sound assistants, media assistants, musical numbers coordinators, musical numbers hosts, nominee check-in, timekeepers, trophy room managers, t-shirt sales, VIP guest registration, and winter escorts. And I can get more details on those specific roles to you, excuse me, so that you can pass that along to your parents or anybody that you know who would like to maybe volunteer that day. If it's okay, maybe I can, we can email that flyer out to you guys at some point before then. And let's see. So we added the Wednesday rehearsal, like we said, this last year, which was really great. It was very productive. It was very beneficial to the students. You'll see Tim and I there both on Wednesdays, rehearsal day, and then all throughout the day for the awards to help out with anything that the teachers and student needs to make sure that everything runs smoothly. A couple of things that will really help us sort of do our job as best we can. A really, really huge thing that I would love to ask all of you is to, as soon as you know which students are going to be involved, is that we have a complete and accurate contact list for those kids. And this helps us track who is attending the rehearsals for the finale and the opening number. If we've got questions for specific students, sometimes even when we're here on awards day, it's easier to text a student, where are you? We're lining up for the costume parade and that kind of thing. But it helps us to have that complete contact list. As soon as you have that finalized, if that's something that you're able to get to Tracy, that would really help us out. Something to emphasize as far as the rehearsal and the awards day, when we're up here at Music Hall, just to kind of make a note that we're trying to really be strict a little bit as far as parents and directors being in the backstage areas. We've got dozens and dozens and dozens of kids, and we're trying to coordinate everything that's happening. And so over 500 children and young adults, I should say. And so it's a little difficult whenever we've got teachers and directors and parents kind of coming in and out. We do understand there are some times, for example, we had a Shrek last year, I believe, and he did need help, with his makeup and things like that, getting ready. And so in specific instances like that, then Tracy's your go-to person. Just sort of give him a heads up, make sure that's approved so that we know you've got to come in for a minute to help that student. But other than those specific things, just please keep that in mind. We will let you know where you can be, in the house or in the lobby and all of that. And it also helps with some of the onus on the students that this is their event, this is their thing. We're here to kind of let them have ownership of that process. From last year, one thing we also wanted to mention was the cleanup after the dressing rooms. I mean, it's just kind of a little note for you today just to think ahead about, but I think Tim said there are still boxes of stuff left from last year that just we don't know who it belongs to, that the kids leave that there. So however, as easy as for you to figure out just some accountability for them as to what they brought and making sure that they have all of that on the bus with them when they go. So that will help us. And those are just kind of the highlights. We're here to just kind of make sure that the process runs smoothly, and we're here to answer any general questions that you have throughout the process on those days, and anything leading up before then. Feel free to, ask Tracy, and you can filter those questions to us if there's anything that we can help with. And any questions on that, on volunteers or the process for rehearsal day and the awards show day? Any questions on that? Okay, well, we're here because we love these kids, and the joy that we have in watching these kids, that drives us to try and improve this whole process every year. So I want to thank all of you. I mean, the program has grown every year by leaps and bounds, and Tracy's worked really hard on that. So just for you being here today on a Saturday and looking forward to a great year of having your kids involved, we love watching that. So I want to introduce Tim Colley, who is a past president and current administrative vice president for the DSM Guild, and he's got a few words to say regarding that. And again, if you have any questions regarding any of the volunteer stuff or anything I can help you with, feel free to let Tracy know, and I'd be happy to do that for you. So thank you.
Good morning. I just want to start off saying that I am you, or I was you. I was a public school educator for 30 years and the theater director. So I've been where you are. So, and currently I am the administrative vice president of the Guild. And I have been involved from the beginning of this contest. And it's just been a great opportunity. That's all I want to say. And I really love it. And Teresa's filled you in on the volunteer activities. Currently my job is I'm sort of the backstage wrangler, getting the kids mic'd, on the stage just before the curtain goes up and getting another group mic and kind of getting them in and out. And I've been doing that for all 5 years, and I really enjoy that. Really enjoy getting to know the kids. What I'm here really to talk about is the Guild. We are the volunteer organization that supports the Dallas Summer Musicals. We throw the opening night cast parties. We feed the cast between the matinee performances and the evening performances. And I just want to say, as a Guild member, that's how I got involved with the High School Musical Awards. And I really, really, that has become my #1 thing to volunteer for. But I want to tell you, over the years, I've sat across the table at those meals from Tommy Tune, with Tommy Tune. I was invited into the dressing room to see on a chaise lounge Eartha Kitt. I'll never forget that. Image is still in my mind. And I even sat across the table and had a conversation with Andrew Reynolds. And so you all know. And when he was just traveling through Jersey Boys. So the exciting opportunity I want to let you know, and you can pick these up on your way out, is this year we're opening up the Guild, our volunteer organization, to high school students. For $35, they can participate in all of these activities, the open night cast parties, the working backstage for serving those buffets with the kids, with the cast, and getting to meet these people. And I think it's a great, great opportunity for them to volunteer and to work and be a part of the Guild. These brochures will be back on the table when you leave, and you feel free to take some. You also have some brochures back there for the High School Musical Awards. Please take as many as you need to pass out to everybody so everybody can get this on their calendar, okay? And we look forward to seeing you all here for the High School Musical Awards.
Thank you, Tim. Appreciate that very much. And just to kind of reiterate what he's saying, that's a great opportunity if the kids would like to come volunteer, help serve the meal between the matinee and the evening performance. They get to meet everybody in the cast. And some of our high school kids have already taken advantage of that. I know I've seen some of them at the cast parties after the show, and it's a great opportunity for them. I did see some of you got your brand spanking new DSM High School Awards pin. Did everybody pick one of those up when you first came in? I want you to be sure to get one of those. I've had those made up for our judges every year, and I thought, I need to give you guys one of those, because every one of you is going to be at some point sitting in a dark theater making director's notes, and it's got a light in it that you can actually turn on and see what you're writing as you're writing in the dark theater. The first ones that we had made up when we first started the program had a white light down in the front, in the cone of the pin, and when all three judges lit those things up, it was sort of like the when the Ghostbusters turn on your, it's a commotion, everybody now goes, what? So we had the bright idea, actually one of our board members, Nancy, our past chair, had the bright idea. Oh, and you can also do Kumbaya with it, as John's demonstrating. But we made them red so that they're not quite as obvious in the dark room. Now, while you've got those pins, John was passing out this questionnaire to you. We'd like you to all fill that out. One thing we did last year that we're going to do again this year through our board and executive director member Joshua Curlett, who's the president of Sound Productions in Las Colinas. We did a tech training session for the kids, and if your kids that are interested in not only the singing and dancing side, but the tech side too, they have a showroom out in Las Colinas. They actually are more of a B2B business. They sell sound and lighting equipment to sound and lighting equipment companies. So they have a huge showroom out in Las Colinas where they can, if you're interested in buying stuff, they'll train you how to use it and show you how it works. So the kids get to go in there and get some practicum on all of that equipment. Now, when you fill those out, we need you to pass them back down to this end. They're going to collect it because in a few minutes we're going to do a raffle And we're going to give away all of this sound equipment courtesy of Josh McCurlett at Sound Productions. Very quickly, let me just, I want to, before we get into that, while you're writing, I want to talk very briefly, being sensitive to the feedback that we get from you all. One of the questions that we have had over the last couple of years is, can we have more structure to the judging and evaluation on the tech categories? Costume design, scenic design, and lighting design. So we have looked very closely at that, and I have solicited the input from several of you, of our theater tech teachers. And what you found in your portfolio today is sort of the outcome of that. Our thought was not to duplicate effort. So we've modeled our rubric revisions on the guidelines for the Thespian Society. So as you look through this little inset that you've got, we give a little explanation at the top, but very quickly, what we're going to do is your score for costume design, lighting design, and scenic design. We're going to split that into two pieces. One is going to be for design, and the other is going to be for execution. And the judges will judge both of those separately, and the combined score then will go toward your total score for that category. And what we're going to do, what they're interested in seeing is the follow-through from the design that the kids are doing to see if that translates through and how well it translates through to the final product that you see on stage. And we've been very careful to try and fashion it so that as we have tried to with every aspect of the competition, be fair in terms of the big schools and the little schools, the schools that have big budgets, the schools that have little budgets. Our judges continually make the point to me that they don't care how much money is spent on a show. They're looking at the product that is on the stage and judging the creativity of the students on the production staff on how well they worked with the resources at hand to create the final product on stage. So whatever that is, if it's a big theater or a small theater, they're really looking at that. And we judge everything from up in the Allen Auditorium. Allen High School is 1,000 seats, and it's a beautiful theater, down to shows in Gemma cafetoriums. And some of the things that I've seen done in a Gemma cafetorium at some of our smaller schools are absolutely amazing, just blows me away. And that's the creativity that the judges are interested in, the ingenuity and creativity. So if you, I'm not going to read this through, just take a look at this, and if you have specific questions, I'll take them now, or if you come up with one later and you just want to email me and ask me about it, I'll be happy to talk with you about it anytime. We're still doing the threshold of 30% on the costumes and on the scenic design. If you rent or purchase more than 30%, you won't be eligible for best of in that category, because we want to give preference to the bills that have actually gone from design all the way through either a set construction or a costume construction. But we felt that the fairness factor was in that your total score for that category still goes towards your overall. We don't prorate it like we do the orchestra score. If you have 5 professionals and 5 students, we give you half that score towards your overall. So take a look at that and let me know if you have any questions. We'll try this year, and if we, as we do each year, look at things we want to tweak and make better as we go from year to year. We value the feedback that we get from you, and I want you to know that we share that among our departments and discuss it very closely and look at it very carefully. Now, for the fun part of the day. Joshua, would you like to come up here? I'd like you to talk a little bit about the tech training, and then we're going to have a raffle. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Joshua Curley.
So I've learned two things about going last. I need to be brief and I need to try to be funny. So thank you for laughing. I get a checkbox on that one. So one of the things we did learn last year was everybody likes free stuff, and so we didn't want to let you down, so we did a lot of free stuff again. Was anybody here last year? All right, see, you guys like free stuff, I like it. So one of the things that I just briefly wanted to talk about was what we do at Sound Productions and why we're involved. I'm on the board for Dallas Summer Musicals, and at our organization, we deal with all types of venues. We deal with schools, churches, contractors, installers. What we really do is we sell all the equipment. Excuse me, so if you guys do need any equipment, please let us know. John Sheets is actually our sales supervisor, and so he can answer all of those different questions, and we've helped a lot of other theaters in the past. So we just want to let you guys know that we're here to support you. One of the things that we decided to do, and work closely with Tracy on this, is a lot of people ask us for ongoing education for the students or for some of the staff at the schools. So what we do at our building, we actually build a sound stage within our building, and we do professional trainings for other churches or venues where we bring them in how to mix or how to properly make up a stage or how to do a lot of the various ABL things that a lot of people are wanting to know. And so we do that on a very high level for professionals throughout the week. So if you guys do have interest in those, please email myself or John. We'll be sending out information once we get y'all's feedback. But what we wanted to do is have something specifically for high school musical theater. So last year we had a training. Did anybody have any kids that were able to go last year that are here? Okay. Good? Did they like it? Okay. So what we want to do is actually grow on that. What our goal is to have a training in the fall and in the spring. And so last year what we did was we went through a lot of the topics that y'all said were problems. How to diagnose the problems, how to make sure we get better sound, how to make sure that each channel is appropriately cued and mic'd up correctly at the appropriate time. Those are the types of things that we're going to be able to do for your students. So if you could just get us that information. John's going to speak to you a little bit more about the people we've already lined up. We have some very high-level professionals who are professional theater supervisors and do different things that will be teaching it this year. So we're going to grow on that. So what I'd like to do is shift and let John come up and speak briefly about that. I'm going to go ahead and give everybody, I'll come around and get all the sheets, but I'm going to give every school roll of tape. One of the things people ask us, it's nice to have bright tape so that way you can mark the stage. So every school, just I think I brought enough for each school. So please take a roll of tape for each school and then we'll raffle the rest. Thank y'all.
First of all, thank you all for coming, and it's exciting to see the involvement in this program. I was tapped by Joshua to kind of do this based on my background. I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Theater Performance and a music minor as well from the University of North Colorado. And I actually hit Dallas in 1986, performing here in Dallas. As a matter of fact, I performed with Tracy. So anyway, there are some connections between all of us, and it's really exciting to be involved with this. Who all was at the training last year? Okay, did I scare them pretty bad? I did a thing on RF wireless microphones, and I showed kids what happens when you just start throwing a lot of microphones in there, and it really creates problems. So I know I scared a lot of kids. So anyway. Don't panic on those forms, by the way. We are going to use the tickets that were put in the bucket earlier, but this is a way to get you to fill out the information. As Joshua had mentioned, what I'm planning to do this year, I'm pretty excited about. I already have Brian McDonald from Dallas Theater Center, and I have Scott Jennifer from Town of Addison already on board to do this. I thought this year would be good, rather than get into a real technical thing and scare people again. Have the kids come out, be able to meet these guys that do this every day and do it on a large scale, do it on a very professional scale. and be able to talk with these people. They're actually going to be prepared to come and do some miking techniques, teach kids how to do head miking, things like that, body miking, those type of things that everybody really doesn't know how to do it. It's really kind of a crapshoot at times. You do what you gotta do, right? Because we all know the technical stuff is our gremlins. I think we witnessed that earlier today in a video. Yeah. Okay, so anyway. So I'm really excited about that. I might get one or two more people to come and join us on that. I highly encourage you to get your kids to this because it's a really good way to get them in front of the people that do it every day. Honestly, I don't do it every day anymore. I now am an audio guy. Back in the day when we did it, we screamed. That explains my notes, I think. But anyway, technology has come a long, long, long way. We know that. And technology is either make or break sometimes. It does really assist in shows. Some of the shows we see nowadays with 50, 60, 70 channels of wireless, and you can hear everything. It's just, theater has become such an amazing experience now for us. You know, you didn't have to get by. Things are really, really neat. The technical stuff they're doing is just awesome. But they can be a big problem. They can really take something very just spot on and just kill it. We all know that. That's usually when you have that kid's dad standing behind you, turn them up, turn them up. You know, so anyway, I think we are we ready? Okay, great. We have Vanna White. She's 3 years old.
Let me ask, did everybody sign in out there at the table?
Yes.
Get your little skinny slips in there.
You do not get a ticket. We were clever. We took your sign in, we took it down to the paper cup and made it.
So they're in there.
Okay, so you still have two that we need to get through the sign in here, so I need a piece of it.
All right.
This is Mackenzie. Okay, she got the first one. Thank you. Okay, hey Joshua, what are we gonna get here? Sure. Okay. Now this year we're giving away a lot of what I call production mixers. They're also labeled DJ mixers. I don't agree with that term totally. Production mixers. I guarantee you, y'all have a kid in your program that would really wig out over one of these things. So anyway, first thing we're giving away is a ProMix NOX 101 production mixer, and this goes to Stephanie Ball. Line them up. All right, another one to, is it Kaylin Childress? Waco. All right, this is another one, right? Okay, another NXO 1 goes to Austin Long, Alito. You guys were at our training last year, weren't you? Did you have some videos?
Yes, we were. Yes.
Okay, I remember. Okay. Yes, that was my cell phone ringing over there. I apologize. All right, Catherine Engel. I love this. Love this one. That's a sure way to get picked. All right, Becca Glaze.
Yeah.
All right, this one is an NX 404, slightly larger one. This goes to Andy Reynolds. Waxahachie. All right, a Pro Mix VMX 1000. This is actually a pretty cool piece. Wouldn't mind having it. My name's not in there. Bethany White, Turner.
Did anybody not get tape?
All right, this is a MIDI controller. Work with the computer. These are cool too. Some kid's gonna wait out over that. All right, Laura Skipper.
She's really getting the hang of this now. Now she's going.
Oh, you okay?
No, we're here, people. Oh, that's good. I like the surprise. Thank you.
Surprise, yeah. Okay. Next.
Okay, this is basically a small version of that same thing. You put it at your desk and use it for production. This goes to Kat Cole. Love that name, by the way. Kat Cole. All right. Oh, this could be really cool, y'all.
They're all really cool.
Hang on a second. All right, this is a little hotkey controller. This actually can be very cool and very beneficial. James Benhouse. All right, a 3-channel NOS 303. Alicia Tatum. All right, another NX 101. Melody Copeland. All right. Everybody needs one of these. It's actually one of those. Shure SM58 microphone goes to Julia Rucker. The Newmark production mixer M6. Elena Michael, the Covenant School. And the pot's empty. Y'all, thank you for coming. Thanks for your involvement. I look forward to what's to come this next year. Please, please, please get your kids to these things. It's an evolving program for us. Last year was our first year, and I think I remember as a kid, I wasn't involved in a whole lot of tech. I got into tech later, but I remember that there's not a whole lot of resources for the tech kids. And there's a lot of pressure put on the tech kids. Everybody's looking at them. Y'all can sing and dance and be great and be wonderful. But it's the tech kids that are doing a lot behind the scenes, and they're taking the brunt of a lot of problems sometimes. And the resources aren't there for them. So please, please get your kids to these things. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, John and Joshua. Now, before we go, we're going to do one more drawing, but Kayleen just asked me a question with regard to the work on the design categories. Her question was, and ask it please.
Is it expected, we were confused by some of the verbiage, is it expected for
a student to be the sole designer of the said costumes and lighting, or if it can be a technical director or director with a student involved in it.
Okay, and so my answer to her was what we are seeing, and so what we're saying is that we would expect that any student doing that work is doing it under the guidance of the teacher, as they would if they were a departmental director or designer under a director of an actual professional production show. So it's the student under the supervision of the teacher. We are not expecting, if you are the only one in your school, if you don't have a tech teacher and you're not emphasizing on that, then what our default position will be is to revert back to, we'll just give the one score. We won't be judging any of the design aspect. If you don't do that, then we won't split that score out. We'll just have the one. And but the schools that are doing both aspects of that are the ones that will be eligible for best out of those categories. Is that clear as mud? Okay. Did anybody happen to notice as you were coming in the posters for our season shows out there? Did anybody happen to catch the opening night date for American in Paris?
The 31st of January.
That's very good. 31st of January. And the reason I asked that is because we're going to do it. Where's my Vanna White go? Oh, you drew them already. Okay, Vanna's way ahead of me. We are going to draw for 2 pairs of tickets to opening night of American in Paris. If I don't put my reading glasses on, no one of us will know who. Okay, that's Glenda Gregory from Advanced High School. And Alicia Crotwell from Geyer in Denver. So I have nothing to hand you, so don't worry about coming down. But what I need you, we'll have your names, and we know where you live. Either you email me or I'll email you. Typically, when we've done this in the past, because we do this every year, I'll get an email from the teacher a week or 2 before the show and say, hey, remember, you picked my name and I get to come to opening night. That's right. So have we not, is there anything before we break that we have not covered that you have a burning question on? Yes.
I just want to clarify something on the faculty ticket.
Yes.
Is it $35 per ticket under that 2 tickets with an ID, or is it $35 for 2 tickets?
What I understood him to say was that it is $35, you get 2 tickets.
No, per ticket.
Per ticket. For the teacher?
$35 per ticket, 2 tickets with 1 teacher ID.
Ah, okay, so that was what I thank you, I'm glad you're still here.
Student tickets are 1 ticket per student ID. Teacher tickets are 2 tickets per teacher ID.
Okay, so.
Teacher tickets are $35 each, student tickets are $25 each.
And the beautiful thing about that, when he says the best available seat, whatever's left, that's production circle. Down in the front, $85 to $100 ticket, you can snag for $35. So it's a fabulous, great deal. So thank you for asking the question, and thanks for clarifying, Stephen, so I didn't get my you-know-what crap. I'm delighted to have you all here. For any of you that I have not met personally yet, please do not leave before you put your hand in mine and shake it, and let's do a FaceTime. I look forward to talking with you throughout the year. And if you ever have any questions, remember, I'm just a phone call or an email away. Oh, yes. Glenda here, they did, in fact, I would come into you all, chat with her. Her kids did a terrific display for the judges in the judges' room before the show. They had an inspiration board, which you'll see on the easel over here. I've also put a couple of plot books from Grapevine High School for you to look at, just for some ideas. And this is something that is optional. It's up to you if your kids want to do it. This is not something we're requiring, but they actually put together a video And I'll move this out of place so you can see it. That we're going to play here as we finish off. Just showing the process, either a PowerPoint or video that they shot on their phones. And I understand now there's actually an app you can download and edit on your phone, which just blows me away. That just blows my mind. But the judges actually asked if they could go backstage. They were so impressed with the work that the kids had done. They wanted to see their work up close. So after the show, the judges went backstage with Glenda and her staff, and the kids took them around and showed them all of the set pieces and flaps that they had built. And it made me really happy because the tech kids don't normally get as much recognition as the kids that are doing the performances on the stage. And they were very, very gratified that the judges were interested enough to go back there and look at their handiwork. And I will tell you, the judges are very interested, and they would love to see that up close. So a backstage tour after the show, please take them back there. They'd love to see it. So thank you all very much. This is just going to show some of the sketches that they did. And this was actually what they had on the screen in the judges' room, right?
Yes. We had the inspiration boards. We had this just looped going. We built everything, and all of a sudden we were like, wait, how are they going to know we built everything? And because there's no book that, so we just thought, and honestly, it was a last minute deal, first one, to be honest with you. And so he just wanted to show, so I've been taking pictures throughout. So we just left it looped, and then they asked for the backstage thing, and that just made the kids. So they've done it for 2 years. So we'll just let this play while y'all are leaving or whatever. If you have any questions about it was just simple. And we didn't win, just FYI. Don't go, oh, if we had known, we didn't win. So it's not, but it was really awesome for the kids. So we'll just let that go. And it actually has music, but I don't know. The sound cord is actually plugged into this other person's computer. Well, we just matched it with, I don't know how to do that. You're over my head. Is this it? This is the one that's in here. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna let you guys figure that out. But everybody else, you can.
Nope, that's the charger. There you go.
Thank you all very much.
I'll be like working on something on the computer and then just look at it. No, give me your computer. Okay, never mind.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
We're discussing where you hid that chandelier in Fly.
It wasn't, it was over the audience.
So good. So was it just there the whole show?
It was cleared up during the ball scene. My deal is, I want my audience to feel part of my show.
Yes.
So during Wizard of Oz, they had to come in through the Munchkin Land, through the Wizard's Castle. For Cinderella, we hung up the chandelier, and the steward tried the shoe on audience members. I can't remember what we did. Something for Millie. I don't remember. I can. Yeah, that's always my deal. So that's why they were there. It hung over the audience, and I had people who wanted to take it and steal all of it. Yeah, they wanted it. I was like, if we were like, it's PVC pipes, it's going to warp, and you're gonna hate me. Yeah. Yeah. It was PVC and Christmas lights. Love it. Wired in. So
That was the first year that was the first year.
now I will tell you, the stained glass window is still not live. It's gel. Yeah, it's still in the library every afternoon. The sun comes through.
You'll figure it out.
All right, you too. Okay, let's turn this off. What do you want? You want some water? You want chocolate milk? You want some? You want what? Oh, you want to see the water? Okay. That's a lot of weight.
Yeah,
I can try.
I don't have, yes, I'll take some more. I gotta put my surfboard. And I have lots more.
Another man did this for me because I was afraid I didn't know how. Let's see what we can do.
That's why I don't like this responsibility,
Yes.
because they set it up and I'm supposed to hit one button.
Right.
And if that doesn't
Oh,
work.
here we go. It's right here.